Hello, it's a beautiful day for me today. Over 200 subscribers and counting in less than a month. Thank you, everybody. And I still repeat, please watch, like, subscribe, comment. It helps the channel to move forward. Now, there's this developing story. A young lady, just your typical street trader. I first saw her story on TikTok about a week ago, and she did a freestyle, and her voice was so melodious and beautiful, and she's got the greatest cheekbones. She's got, very good looks. And I was so taken by her that I remember showing the clip to my husband, and I told him, this girl has so much promise. If only she would put much more power into her voice, she could be one of the greats very easily. As at the time I was running that commentary, I had absolutely no idea that within a very short period, not only would she, become practically a global social media sensation, but she'd also have all kinds of, music stars scrambling all over themselves to sign her up. Her name is Salle, and so far that's what I know about her name. I don't know where she's from. I don't know which state of origin, ethnicity. I just know that she's about 17 years old, and her Twitter page, on her Twitter page, she was declaring that Rihanna, of all people, has reached out to her. She didn't say what for, but it is safe to assume that, well, this is a young girl who has a great voice. Rihanna herself managed to make it into the music industry at a very young age, and she probably sees something in this girl that could be developed, and probably, who knows, might be reaching out to her to ask her if she would like to be signed up. And not just that, Christiane Amanpour, we all know Christiane Amanpour, CNN, has also reached out to her asking for an interview and things like that. It's looking very much like a typical grass to grace story. We all love these stories. Wizkid is one of them. His own discovery wasn't as dramatic. It was a very slow climb, but we know that he started out as a backup singer, and today he's one of the biggest stars Nigeria has to offer in the music industry, and that's beautiful and it's big. What's not to believe? But how many people remember a certain Olajumoke Orishaguna? That was the lady selling bread that happened to photobomb Tiny Temper's video shoot here in Nigeria, if you recall. I think it was a music video that was being recorded at the time. This has been a while. This was since 2016. Now, it so happened that she unknowingly walked into a photo shoot session of the British rapper Tiny Temper. And of course, he was being photographed by T.Y. Bello, who is one of our biggest photographers in Nigeria at the moment. Now, T.Y. Bello, in the course of going through her shots, found an image of Olajumoke and Tiny Temper amongst the photos. Naturally, well, maybe not naturally, things like this happen all the time and don't pan out as good things for the people involved. But in this case, T.Y. Bello took an interest and went out of her way and looked for Olajumoke and photographed her. This brought Olajumoke to limelight. She eventually ended up on the covers of a number of fashion magazines here in Nigeria, subsequently got jobs in some presentation shows, became a model of sorts. And the story was even carried by various media sources, including, of course, CNN and BBC Africa. Olajumoke hit the scene in 2016. This is 2021, 5 years later. Silence. It was a bit of a flash in the pan. Whatever success she managed to get from, that stint doesn't seem to be something that has panned out to be, a long-term thing. But she did have her 2-3 years of fame, and I really hope she has not dropped back to grass, because this was a grass to grace story. But you know what is really intriguing, and if it is true, will be very, very sad about Saleh's story. is that after doing a bit of fact checking, it has been discovered that it was merely a publicity stunt. And this is one of the reasons why you are not likely to get me hopping on trending stories immediately they break. I know when these stories break. There's a reason why most of my stories tend to be a bit late, a bit old. I want to do my fact checking. As much as possible, I want to avoid unnecessary embarrassment, which is something that comes with our field. Now, reportafrique.com is reporting that the whole thing is a scam. This is what they say. The video seemed genuine at first. After celebrities like Don Jazzy and Tunde Ednut posted her video afterwards on their pages, it of course went viral. Her story seemed relatable in a country where many budding talents are unknown because they come from the poor divide of the society. Hence, it was easy to radiate with many and sold out quickly amongst Nigerians. However, emerging facts now suggest her story could have been part of a publicity stunt to make her popular. A line of thought she further made believable with lies that CNN's Christian Amanpour requested to have an interview with her. Of course, she also has screenshots purportedly suggesting that she got a phone call from Rihanna. That is on her Twitter page at Real Call Me Salle. Now, going back to Report Afrique, and I quote word for word. When Report Afrique investigated this, no trail of the conversation in her screenshot was traced to Amanpour's verified account on Twitter. She had made all that up and the screenshot was photoshopped. The story of Rihanna contacting her and Amanpour inviting her for an interview have also gone viral, with many popular Nigerian blogs spreading it without verifying. A frontline newspaper in Nigeria, The Nation, published her lies before deleting the article after realizing it was fake news. Salle fooled her new fan base. Her publicity team lied her way to fame and the public is buying it without a second guess. After uncovering Salle's lies, some Nigerians have come to the conclusion that Salle's video was a publicity stunt to make her popular. Some said she may also not come from a poor background as depicted in the video. But I wasn't about to run with just that report, so of course I quickly did a search of my own, which sadly showed that for a story this big, only the Nigerian media knew anything about it. I don't know if this girl is being used by other people. I don't know if for some strange reason somebody has, just co-opted her into a scam. I don't know if she's part of it. I don't know if she's the brains behind it. Whatever it is not a good one. You'll find that practically all of the mainstream media houses that took this story have taken it down. Practically all. Let's see what Instagram is saying. Let's have a look at her Instagram account. So here we have her Instagram account with just 4 posts. She has 242,000 followers. She's already calling herself a musician. I think this is quite the leap from a young girl who, was just minding her business, doing her street trading stuff, to all of a sudden, this diva. It's quite a stretch. Like I said, I don't know if she's the brains behind this. I don't know if somebody just co-opted her into it. Whatever it was, what the dead giveaway was when they started including the names of some famous, internationally known personalities. Had she stuck to just the Nigerian scene, she may have gotten away with it, but When you start mentioning people like Christiane Amanpour, you start mentioning people like Rihanna, it's very easy to fact check this information and get to the bottom of it. She's saying here, and this was 24 hours ago, from zero to hero, congratulations to us in advance because you guys made it happen. I love you all. Good news on the way. Yup. And it's all a scam. You see, when I stumbled upon that story yesterday, I was like, wow, Salle. Rihanna has contacted Salle. How did she do this though? Because she reports that Rihanna called her. So the first thing that went through my mind was, I mean, like, there are tons of new talent springing up every day in America. But then again, I told myself, well, people get lucky, you never can tell. But I also wondered, there was just something about it that wasn't working for me. How did Rihanna reach out to Salle? Did she, was, how did she get her phone number? Did she contact Salle's manager? Does Salle already have a manager? Because just barely a week ago, she was still just a street trader. All of a sudden there are photo and video shoots all over the place with people comparing her to all kinds of music stars that have, sweated bullets to get to where they are today. And while I was happy for her, there was just something about the story that wasn't working for me as an experienced journalist. I need more subscribers, I need more viewership, but I still want to maintain some credibility. And where it is possible, I'll always fact check before bringing you the story. So, Salle, you do have a beautiful voice. I think that if you really are 17 years old, because our first experience with you has been a pack of lies, so now it's in doubt. I don't know if you're really 17 years old or you're lying. I don't know if you're really somebody from a humble background or you just did that because Nigerians have this tendency to throw our weight behind people who have a sob story. I don't know how much of anything about you is true. What I do know is that you have a beautiful voice. Now you've been able to get people's eyes on you, albeit the wrong way, but this could be an opportunity for you to make good of yourself. There could be one or two people out there, now that you've generated this much interest, who would be willing to mentor you, train you, give you, some proper voice training and help you to build this talent that you clearly have. You do have something. It requires work. You're a beautiful girl. You could be a model too. You could go into fashion if that's what you want. Either way, there is something there, and it's something that could be built upon, despite the fact that you've chosen to make your debut with lies, which is exactly what the rest of so many of us are trying to run away from, because that seems to be our general reputation across the globe, that Nigerians cannot be trusted. We're not straightforward. We tend to lie to try to, get an edge over others. And here you are, a very young girl, and you've chosen to take that route. Now that you've been found out, please retrace your steps. The good thing about being young is that you usually have some time to make up for your mistakes. I suggest that having amassed the fan base you now have, you quickly come out, do an apology video, retrace your steps, ask for help in building the talent you have, and I wish you luck with it. The entertainment industry in Nigeria is booming. Why can't you have a peace? If you work on yourself, you certainly can.